I think my biggest question from you, we've talked about the ever-changing world of sports, and with that, we've seen, you know, women starting having actual voices in the world of sports. What has it been like for you being a reporter in the sports world as a woman?
It's funny because I talked about this recently. And to be completely honest, I've been in this career, I guess if you technically count college, for,
Yeah.
6 or 7 years, but, just by myself in this, industry
Right.
as a woman for 3 years. And I've been very lucky to be surrounded by men and women in this industry that are very uplifting. And like I said, maybe it's a Raleigh thing because this community is so great.
Yes.
And the people here are just great, and we're in the South, but I have not personally felt like I was discriminated against because
Right.
I am a woman
Right.
in this industry. The biggest challenge that I have is feeling insecure about myself because I am a woman, right? Like,
Right.
I'm working with guys like Shane, Mike, and Tripp who know hockey like the back of their hand.
Yeah.
And I come in and I'm still trying to learn. And so what I've kind of taught myself over the last 2 years is to kind of get over that insecurity. Obviously following other women in this industry and seeing, how much work they put into getting to where they are, and, how valued and respected they are, telling myself, like, you'll get there, like, and be
Right.
confident, being confident in myself and the stuff that I know, because I know way more than a lot of other people do, even though sometimes I'm going to feel insecure about it. Like, no, like, I know just as much as the guy next to me, because I know I'm putting in the work. It's you're surrounded by men who have played the sports before. They've been veterans in it. They've maybe have been in the industry longer. And I think that's the toughest part. It's just, coming in as a young woman and being surrounded by that. It's trying to feel confident in yourself and what you can bring to the table. And especially as like a host, a lot of times our jobs, you're told, like, your job is to tee up your analyst. Like, let the analyst do the numbers and the talking and the stats. And, that's, I get that. And that's totally, like, I agree with it. But at the same time, what if I want to bring, that value to the table too? What if I've been doing my research? Like, I know the numbers just as well as the guy next to me if I've done my research on it, and so there's that balance too of what is our role, right, as women. And there is a little bit of a stereotype of what a woman's role is in this industry, but then we're seeing women like be play-by-play, women and analysts. And that's what's really cool about it. And that's just reminding us that, hey, we have to be confident in ourselves and that we can do that, because there are these pioneers that are paving the way for us. And so it's kind of more of an internal battle for me specifically than it is like having to deal with feeling, discriminated against.
Right.
But when all these women that I have that are colleagues and mentors have absolutely dealt with those things. And so to hear from them, their stories and, how they kind of deal with it, and, seeing women pave the way for us is really refreshing, and it's a good learning experience. And so I'm sure one day it'll be something that I'm going to have to deal with. And so, I can only continue to do my research and my prep and work as hard as I can, to show that I, am intelligent and I am confident, and I, am doing my job to the best of my abilities. And that's all that I can do, right? Be myself and do the job to the best of my ability. And if somebody doesn't like that or they're not happy with it, then that's not my problem. I'm working as hard as I can, like I'm doing my best here, and I'm going to feel good about that. So it's great to see how many women are just rising to the occasion, especially during COVID, like this time, COVID and everything that's happening in our world with trying to combat racism and Black Lives Matter. Like, women have a unique voice in all of this, because in the past, our role has always been to be storytellers. And so now so many more women are rising to the occasion, because as women, we have more emotions, I think, than men sometimes. Like we're a little more emotional, but we can utilize that to our advantage. So as women in this industry, how can we take advantage of our strengths, and not let people bring us down about our weaknesses. And right now, I think more women are rising to the occasion than,
Yes.
we have in the past. So take advantage of those opportunities and those strengths.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's so fantastic to see so many women speaking out, even if it is over social media, on Twitter, just with so much support from other women and women supporting other women in the sports industry. And I think it's such a fantastic thing to see women finally saying, you know what, we can be in sports too, and we can do
For
it
sure.
just as well as you can. And you having these old time fashioned opinions doesn't bother us
Yeah,
anymore, because
exactly.
we are here and we can do it just like you.
And it's different. It's just the industry's just different as a whole, right? Like because of social media and
Yeah.
everything. There's so much more storytelling and storytelling opportunities. And I think that's where women can thrive as well, and take advantage of that via social media. It's not like you just, like you said, the old school, like just turn on the TV and watch play-by-play analyst and reporter. There's a lot more that women are bringing from an industry perspective, as far as like digital media and having a voice on social media, and all of that. And so it's kind of cool to see how the industry is changing along with women's roles expanding, because in a way they're
Yeah.
combining together to
Absolutely.
like, we're changing the industry in a way too, which is really cool, because we are. So it's great to see that.